it's mostly about my personal history and how I reacted in my dealing with my growing up with in that family. But it does kind of deal with the kind of the emotional aspects of what my mother went through on her side, and to a lesser extent my father as well. I mean, the film itself is less about that specific event, which is true, and it begins from that premise, but it's more about delving into the family history and what my family went through, becoming becoming that because it was a kind of a new thing, that kind of middle class life for both my parents, my mother and my father, and their kind of troubles and problems as they grew into this kind of life, and what kind of expectations they had, and the disappointments that occurred from it. So it really less about that specific event of the abortion, and I always wanted to make at some point a self-reflective film that was introspective and that played with point of view and story structure, and did had a certain experimental quality to it, and that's why I wanted to do the film, and in writing the film, I wanted to make sure that it was a good script, and was just, and like I said, it wasn't just me just trying to do whatever I wanted. That it had a good story structure. It was a good script, and yeah, through getting many critical feedbacks, that it was improved at each point, and then it become that when at the point when we were shooting the film, that I was very confident.
I was straight out of theater school. Like, I literally had graduated a month before and I got cast
Oh wow.
through an audition. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's in Peter's imagination.
Right.
But Lenore is essentially Peter's older sister. And at this point, she's a teenager and she's a creative artist. She's in a rebellious stage, but she's also in a period where she's discovering herself and finding out her her interests. And I believe that Peter looks at her as an inspiration and as a beacon of hope and of courage. And he looks up to her and wishes that he had her in her life to look up to her as a role model.